Greetings, Comm 3315. This week we will have the opportunity to focus on Chapter 12, Virtual Technology in Groups. You all have the privilege to experience Comm 3315 in the virtual online format. I think it's imperative that this is one of the earlier chapters that we discuss throughout the course of small group communication to mainly provide you all with the focus on why virtual communication is important in small groups and the many different facets that we will explore and use to communicate in our virtual world. When we think about virtual technology, we think about the fact that we use this communication to help us cross multiple organizational boundaries, as well as to cross time and to cross distance. And so I want you all to take a moment and think about the type of technology that you will need to use in order to have a successful experience in this course. It is my understanding that everyone naturally has a computer and has internet access and capabilities, but what are the other technological tools that you will need to actually complete your assignments in the course? According to media richness theory, the more communication channels you use, the better your chance are for success when engaged in communication with others. How do you plan to communicate with your group members? Do you think email alone will get the job done? Do you plan to pick up the phone and talk to one another? Are you already thinking, Dr. Murray, I've set up my Zoom account and I'm going to engage in Zoom communication? Will you use some type of messaging app on your phone or on your tablet to assist you with this communication? Think about it. You will need multiple formats in order to make this virtual experience a success. In addition, I want you guys to think about other successful measures that you can take in order to make your virtual group work for you. The first being adequate resources. When you meet with your group members, take a moment and discuss the types of resources that everyone has in terms of their technology capabilities. Think about the type of support that's available on the course syllabus as well as online in the helpful hints folder. We know that the university offers numerous forms and facets of success for you all in terms of assisting with technology. If it's a tool that you do not know about or an app or a program that you do not know how to use, the Blackboard support team and the Office of Technology, Teaching and Learning will be happy to assist you in that. Another tool for success deals with being skilled in training, hence different trainings that you can take online. You can watch YouTube videos to become more acquainted, and you can also become acquainted in training through the help of the university. Coordinating your skills, as well as thinking about people who have an online life or a virtual life that you would like to emulate. As you all are thinking about those successful measures of your group, and how you plan to employ those measures, I want you to think about some of the dialectical tensions that virtual groups experience. So I know throughout your time in taking other communication courses, you've had the opportunity to deal with dialectical tensions. And so the two dialectical tensions that generally impact the way that we deal in the virtual world deals with conformity versus nonconformity and conflict versus cohesion. Because typically there's going to be some people in your virtual group that said, I've worked this way the entire time I've taken online courses. Many of you all have indicated that you only take online courses or that this is your first course. And so I want you to think, how can each group navigate this push-pull tendency to want to solely work in one particular format or to actually engage in one particular way of looking at things. And then I want you to think about this idea of conflict and cohesion. You know that conflict's going to arise. I'm going to talk about it multiple times throughout the semester. And I want you to think, how will we deal with this idea of balancing this dialectical tension of conflict versus this dialectical tension of cohesion? And speaking of conflict, I want you all to focus a little bit on how you could potentially see conflict arise in your virtual groups through the digital divide. The digital divide indicates that there could be a few inequities in your group based on age, gender, and socioeconomic status. Some members of your group may be well versed in other areas of the digital world, whereas others may not be as versed. I had a conversation earlier today talking about the difference between using Facebook and Periscope. And one person was like, oh, I only communicate with Facebook. And the other person was like, Facebook is totally out and we only communicate via Periscope with one another's. Or we're snapping, or we're tweeting, or we're Instagramming. And so for some of you guys, you're like, oh yes, I have all of those accounts. And for others, you're like, what the heck is a snap? So I want you to think about the different types of technology that's out there, the way that people are marketing and branding themselves online, and how you may or may not be using those tools, and how that impacts the digital divide, and what that may have in terms of causing some type of conflict in your virtual group. Finally, I want you guys to look at the guidelines for the various tools that you can use when communicating virtually. This PowerPoint slide for the chapter is 40 slides long. Don't be mad at me. They go perfectly along with the chapter, and it explains slide by slide how you can actually use these tools to make your online community and your online experience in this class a success. As you're concluding this chapter, I want you all to think about a few parting thoughts. How will past experiences working with virtual teams help you to become a better team member? What tools work best for your virtual life? And what tools work best for your virtual life at this current moment? And how do you plan to use those tools to enhance yourself, to prevent conflict, to assist with this push-pull tendency of conformity versus non-conformity? I hope you guys are enjoying your time in this class, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your week, and I look forward to continuing to engage in communication with you all via video, via email, as well as via chat. Bye!